Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
Hello, my name is Mike, and today's show is brought to you by our Amazon page. Please remember to shop at MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon. It's quite simply the best way to support this show. If you need it, Amazon has it, and you can get it at MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon. Bookmark it, please.
Available on demand every day in iTunes and the Google Play Store, and around the world on MikeO'MaraShow.com. What more can we do for you? It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Oscar, it's Monday, and we're coming off a big sports weekend, but not the one that everyone really wanted to have. I think there was a lot of high hopes at the Belmont, and they were dashed.
Oh, yeah. Tragic.
But let's make a phone call. I think we can get to the bottom of this. So many people have spoken to, I believe the jockey's at Victor Espinosa. So many people have spoken to him. But, you know, there's an old phrase in broadcasting as I dial here. Yes. It's called get it straight from the horse's mouth.
Ah.
Which is why we are calling the Double C. California Chrome. I hope he's there. CC?
Hold on, Mom. It's hard to get the phone between my... Damn it, I can't hold it.
You could tuck it in your bridle.
Oh, man.
He hung up. I got to redial again. Got to call again.
Those hooves could be slippery, and he probably has bandages over one of those hooves.
Oh, yeah, because he got stepped on.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's right hoofed or left hoofed. Because he's dominant.
But he doesn't have the thumb, so he's got to...
Yeah, maybe a stable boy would help him out.
Yeah.
We'll see. Calling now New York City. He's still in New York. Hope he picks up. You know what he could use? He could use his blue hoof.
Oh, yeah, the blue hoof.
Hello?
Chrome?
Who's calling?
This is Rob Spiewak and Oscar Santana from the Mike O'Mara Show.
Oh, yeah.
Good morning.
Yeah. Hi, boys. How are you, man? It's California Chrome on this end.
Yeah, we know that.
That's the name they gave me. What's that?
We called you. We know you're California Chrome, sir.
Oh, that's right, man. I'm sorry. It's been a whirlwind of activity on this end, Mom. I don't mind telling you, I'm just so down. I'm so totally depressed, you know.
Bummer,
I've got a sore hoof. And, you know, it's just, it's night and day, Mom. I mean, the last couple of Mondays after I won was just, you know, I couldn't get enough of people. Now people are treating me like I have cancer.
You don't have cancer, though.
But they're acting like I've got cancer.
You don't. You're fine. And you know what?
I don't know.
You're not even the one to blame here. And I understand that you're vibing on some negative stuff here. But I don't think it's your problem, man. I think it's your owner.
Not.
I think
yes,
it's your
Oscar.
owner.
I would say that the cancer situation, because you're not a cancer to the sport, would be because of your medical marijuana license.
Well, the marijuana medical license or the medical marijuana license, whichever way you want to call it, helped California Chrome win a lot of races at Santa Anita, dude. But, you know, speaking of marijuana, you know, I think if my co-owner, Steve Colburn, if he could just mellow, he wouldn't be such an a-hole, man. I mean, really calling people cowards. That's just so out of line, especially, man, I read my history, okay? It's the same week as the D-Day invasion anniversary, and he's throwing around cowardly about horse racing. Dude, I mean, I really wanted to leave a patty right outside his motel room.
Now,
seriously, he just totally killed my whole buzz. I'm like, Steve Colburn, first of all, you look like Wilford Brimley, and second of all, man, you're going to make millions of dollars, dude. You're going to make millions of dollars, and I'm going to be able to go out into a field and bang horses all day. Like, what is bad with that equation? So we didn't get the trophy. Big whoop, okay?
He's a sore loser, and I think
there's
a lot of negativity. Dude. Do you think he needs to spark up?
I think he needs something, man, an antidepressant or some sort of tranquilizer that he could use, man.
Chrome, what about the way he shoot his wife away when his wife was just
trying
to help?
Like, let's throw in the whole social services aspect of things, you know, like potential abuser. It's 2014, dude. That poor little lady, my God, first of all, he towers over her. And, you know, it's just like, what's her life like at home?
Yeah.
This is on national television. This is on national television. Wait, excuse me.
Yeah.
I had an oat caught between my molar and my bicuspid.
Do they?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do they mix your marijuana? I understand you're well in balanced. Do they mix your marijuana in with your oats, or do you smoke?
They don't give me marijuana. I was kidding,
Oh, it's a
Mom.
joke.
They don't really. But I do mean seriously that I think Steve Coburn could spark up, man, and really just chill. And I get back to his woman. Oscar, you brought it up.
Yeah.
My God, man, like, what's he like if she doesn't make his pot of beans properly, you know, man? And he looks like he eats a lot of beans.
Big
doesn't
bean
he,
eater?
dude?
Big
Oh,
bean eater.
my God. And can I just say another thing?
Sure.
And I know I'm venting here, but I'm not going to run for him again. So I just want to say, dude, trim your mustache, all right? It's that white, gross mustache that hangs over your upper lip and also gets yellow when you're eating some sort of thing like a hot dog with yellow mustard.
You know what? I have a beautiful high-def television, and I was watching the race. You know what I saw in his mustache? I saw 3 beans.
3 bean salad or like regular Boston baked beans?
No, it was actually 3 string beans. They were lodged in his mustache because he's a big bean eater, like you
You
said.
know what we say in the paddock when we're going to break wind?
What?
It's why you can always tell with horses. We go, tail up. Yeah, dude. Yes,
Carl,
Oscar.
Let's
yeah,
get
go
to the
ahead.
subject at hand here. And
Yeah,
thank you for
sure,
addressing
sure.
your own, or thank you for addressing the possible domestic abuse.
It is
Yeah,
the elephant in the room.
It's alleged.
Yeah. Or you can say the horse in the room.
It is.
Let's
I
talk.
wouldn't be offended.
Let's talk about the race. How's your ankle? What went down? What happened?
Well, I just had a sore foot, and, you know, you break down a little bit when you're doing all the racing that I've been doing, so I'm going to be all right. They're going to let me heal up, and we're going to move on. It could be worse, you know, horses, you know, they break a leg or a foot or something. It's bangity, you know, you're at the business end of like a gun
go
after
down.
the race. Oh, God, they turn you into glue. It sucks.
That is
but I'm
bad.
fine. I'm not, look, emotionally I'm stable, okay? Competition is my life, and there are 2 things you'll know about racehorses, okay?
Only 2 things? 2 things.
2 things.
Yes.
Number 1 for a
Yes.
racehorse is you deal in a world of pressure.
Sure.
So you just don't let it get to you, man. I'm friends with all the other horses. I like Commanding Curve.
Right.
I like all the other horses. We get along, man. So we handle the pressure. And number 2 is a tremendous ability to get along with Hispanic jockeys.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at www.mikeomarashow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Let's get down to business.
From the entertainment capital of the world.
That's right, man. You better have some medical insurance or you gonna die. That's right, everybody. Ooh, you gotta eat right and exercise. No, you don't. You need some coverage. Coverage will save your life. That's right. I mean, we all gonna die, but at least if you got some coverage, you will die on a mattress. That's right, man. When I was a kid, we didn't have no insurance. We didn't have a damn thing. You had to be damn near dead to see the doctor. That's why you had to be way past Robitussin. That's all we had when I was a kid, Robitussin. No matter what you got, Robitussin better handle it. Daddy, I got asthma, Robitussin. I got cancer, Robitussin. I broke my leg, Daddy poured Robitussin on it. Yeah, boy, let that tussin get in there, boy. Yeah, boy, let that tussin get on down to the bone. Yeah, the tussin ought to straighten out the bone. It's good. If you run out of tussin, put some water in the jar, shake it up, more tussin. More tussin.
Jay. Wait, what?
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. Mike O'Mara, Rob Speedwack, Oscar Santana. And now, from his easy chair, here's Mike.
We are live from the Cappy Pfeiffer Studios and heard worldwide. This is the Mike O'Mara Show. We are powered by Encore Insurance Services with over 24 million downloads heard daily at MikeO'MaraShow.com and exclusively over the air on the mighty 1630 KCJJ in the heart of the heartland. Go Hawks!
I want to say hi to Dave Kelchin.
The Kelchin.
Yeah.
Oh, the Iowa Kelchins.
And Mike, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the Kelchin.
That's I have a great new dishwasher. It's a Kelchin-Aid.
Oh, it's wonderful.
The Mike O'Mara Show is a daily podcast and radio show with the greatest listeners on the planet. Why?
Why?
Because they get it. Today's show is brought to you by our brand new endeavor. We hope you're going to love it. It's called Open Mic. It's our new book, From Corporate Radio to New Media. Everyone here at the Mike O'Mara Show is proud and pleased to announce the publication of our new book, Open Mic. It's the true story of the Mike O'Mara Show and how it evolved from terrestrial radio to the popular podcast format that you're listening to right now.
Thank you.
The story is told by the people who lived it.
Was that over the top, do you think?
Yeah. Mike O'Mara, Oscar Santana, Rob Spiewak, the guys that stormed the beaches.
They lived it.
As well as interviews with radio execs. Who are the radio execs that were interviewed?
Mike, you got to sort of sell it. Steve Bridges.
Family members, that's
Yes.
true. News media?
Sure.
Tony.
And Arch.
Tony Arch Campbell.
Tony and Arch?
Yeah.
Okay. Technically, you're right.
Mike,
and fans,
I might be holding on by a thread, but there's not a lie in there.
as told to the wonderful author Michael Kelly. That
Yes.
is true. He's wonderful. It's available in paperback or for your Kindle at Amazon.com. The paper book price is $13.07. Is it really $13.07?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Now, why do they have to put that 7 cents in there? I mean,
That's
why
our
can't
cut,
they just
Mike.
make it 13? That is our cut, or you can get it on your Kindle at $9.99, or just click the link at MikeO'MaraShow.com. The book is a tale of reinvention. That is true. Recalculation. Very true. And rebirth. Okay, now you pushed it.
Parallel construction of sentencing. It's great writing.
I understand. If life has ever had you up against the wall, you'll appreciate this story. It's the perfect book if you love TMOS, and it makes a wonderful gift for the TMOS fan in your life or for someone that you want to listen to the show. Order now, and you'll be ready for the book signing on Thursday, June 26th, as the whole crew returns to our home away from home, Jimmy's Old Town Tavern in Herndon, Virginia. We'll be there from 6:30 till 8 p.m. Open Mic is available at Amazon in paperback and for your Kindle. Please buy one of each. A lot of people are actually doing that. So, I read somebody that's, actually got the Kindle because they wanted it right away, and they also ordered the paperback. So that's a very good thing, and we're happy to have that book out. Lots of great work done by everybody. As far as the marketing end, Oscar and company once again stepped up to the plate and delivered for us. So thank you for that. And Mike Kelly, the author, the guy that we all talked to for, it's amazing this project was a year.
Has it really been a year?
Yeah, it's over about, actually more than a year if we talked about, the initial discussions about it.
Wow.
But really, Michael Kelly put together a very nice little book, and it's easy to read, it's fun, and it's great if you're a fan of this show. I think it's almost a must-have if
I've
you're a fan
only
of the show.
read one other book twice, and I'm lying by twice because I've only read this book twice. It's the only book I've ever read twice in my life. Some people love reading books over and over and over again. I'm
Right.
not that guy. I read this book twice, and it's not because of my built-in narcissism. It's simply because it's fun to read.
It's entertaining.
It's fun to read, and it's entertaining.
What I really like about what it eventually became was we narrowcasted it. We really did. We talked about, if you really look at a start to this book, the book starts when we got our asses handed to us,
Right.
when we got canned and how it all happened. And then it's got little bits and pieces throughout about all aspects of the show and a little bit about me. And I think really it is a nice story about a lot of somebody that did something that a lot of people do. We all kind of reinvented ourselves after the recession, and it was scary and it wasn't fun. And then at the end, at the other side, the success is not something that where we turned into Donald Trump.
No.
The success is that we discovered through the process that we came out on the other side doing something that we enjoyed so much more than what we used to do. And that I never saw coming. I never in a million years. It was a survival mechanism at first, and then it ends up as something that was just truly, truly special. And Michael Kelly did a really wonderful job of cobbling that all together.
So very proud of what he did.
We're really proud of it, and it's a nice looking book too. Got a great cover design, and we're really happy about that.
Can you explain to me the way that it's written? I just don't know enough about. I don't even know if there's a terminology, because the way it's written is really, if you're a fan of this show, and I'm not blowing smoke up your ass, I kid you not. Like I don't even like. I get to work with Mike, and I get to work with Rob, and I get to work with Pony and all the guys here. But when you're doing the show, sometimes you do not you don't translate that. Oh my God, that was so funny. You know it's funny at the time, but then you move on because you're getting ready for the next joke or the next segment.
And we generate a lot of content.
Yeah, but when you read it and you laugh at the jokes that you remember, actually sitting in the room coming up with or talking, or that Rob said, or that Mike, or maybe tipping that Mike has, and you're laughing at it, you know you've done something right. It's fun.
You had something happen to you that happened to me.
Okay.
And this is not a spoiler alert because this is not that kind of
Right.
book. The fact is, early on in the book is a transcript of our show. It's a significant show. And what Michael Kelly did, he took hours of, he's a huge fan of the show, and he took hours and hours of what he would listen to, and he thought that he would find a blurb, a transcript that he felt was not the crazy funniest, but just representative,
indicative
of what we
do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And seeing it in print form, I realized how schizophrenic we are.
Yes.
And B, that much like that Seinfeld episode, our show really is about nothing. And and seeing that printed just made me laugh out
so
loud.
Much fun.
When Oscar, you mentioned about the style of the book, and I have read it twice as well. I think that it's best described, it's like a book version of a well-done motion picture documentary because it splices together interviews but also clips from the show and people weighing in. It is a very entertaining read, and it tells a great story, though not linearly. It's almost like Pulp Fiction. It's out of order in places, but you never get lost.
To the point where it kind of, at one point, my wife was said, "Why did they say this after that?" I said, "Because he mentions that in the foreword to the book. He talks about his process and how he does that." And he interviewed a lot of people, and he chatted a lot of people. I think
he talked to radio executives, Mike.
God, I hate that.
Tony's foreword was hilarious.
Oh, Tony wrote a great foreword, yeah.
But the star, in my humble opinion, of this book is Catherine Parsley, my sister, who talks about the the torture of me and the fact of why she did it. And if all of her little excerpts were included in the book, you would have a picture of little Lord Fauntleroy being pampered and with a silver spoon in his mouth, and she's hysterically.
And
funny
when she recounts the abuse that she heaped upon you, as a matter of fact, Michael Kelly is working on a solo project with her, and it's called simply Unrepentant.
There is no remorse in my sister
not a
Kathy.
Drop of it.
She was bragging.
No
it was
remorse.
great.
Yeah, it's very funny.
She's funny. So really get on there and look. We're marketing this ourselves, folks. So we do not have the budget of a publishing house. I want you to go to Amazon and give us a 5-star review. I don't give a rat's ass if you like the book or not. Give us a 5-star review.
Please do.
And we would love to. We'd love to get everybody to buy the book, as many people as we can. Tell your friends. Yes, Oscar.
Also, whether you get the Kindle and the book, or just the book itself, or the Kindle version, regardless of however you're consuming the material, please take a picture of when you download it. Take a picture of the book when it arrives. We'd love to see where this book is traveling, where it's going, who's getting it.
Yeah, spread the word.
And then send it to us. That'd be great. Just tag us in the pictures. That'd be something fun to do.
You stole someone's picture as your Facebook picture.
I did, because I actually took a picture of my paperback and my kitchen. And then I was on Facebook and I saw this picture of someone that I had the Amazon envelope behind it. I said, you know what?
Cool.
That was much better than one in my kitchen. My kitchen one's boring.
Yeah.
This is a marketing scheme here like that. I'm thinking now, oh, God, I forgot. Was it Joel, the guy that went all over the world?
Joel Rogers, the pilot.
Joel Rogers with the T-shirt. I like the idea of people taking this book with them on their summer adventures.
Yes.
And taking
pictures
of it in front of the Grand Canyon.
I want to see open mic at the Eiffel Tower. The real one, not the one in KD. Yeah.
In Australia, I want to see it everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be fun. That would be fun. So, here I am flapping my gums about this when there's something much more important to talk about. And I mean this sincerely, much more important than my book. And our book, and I'm not going to say my book again because it is our book, and all you guys participated and collaborated, and Mike Kelly did, and everybody
so did
else
Steve Bridges, radio executive.
Major Morgan.
I read that and I said radio. I pre-read that copy.
WNBC.
Radio executives. There's none that would go on record for the book. None that I'd want in the book.
That's true.
Except for Steve Bridges.
Well, what is he, a radio executive or a disc jockey? The truth somewhere is in the middle.
Well, was a radio icon.
He is.
An owner.
Yes.
Owner, operator, legend, Mike.
He's a mogul.
He is a mogul. Happening.
Actually, I was going to call Steve this past weekend because it's fun. You forget how supportive he's been.
He's a great guy.
And then I realized, that might take a good 20 minutes.
Yeah, you know what?
I can't do that.
And also, he's all worn out. He had an auction on Friday. He'd be all fussy. Yeah. You know what? Just send him a text.
I have his cell number, though.
Yeah, send him a text.
Are you familiar enough with this man to know his moods, Rob Spiewak? Do you know whether he's
always
happy or sad?
Always tired. That's
always. Well, he's always tired because he does 16 hours of broadcasting a day, and then he does it on the weekends, and then when he's not doing that, he's at the radio station,
but he
just
also
hanging out.
He's physically tired because of those tall tees he wears all the time. That's a lot of fabric to carry around.
I mean, Mike, that actual shirt that says "World's Greatest Grandpa" weighs nearly 9 pounds.
Yes, absolutely.
Wearing armor.
Almost half of his entire body weight.
He is usually in a good mood. I've caught him in a bad mood in the past, but you can usually tell tired Steve because you'll either get hello, and that's normal Steve, and tired Steve is, hey.
What does when the show goes into 2 CDs, Steve, sound like?
That's when he calls up and says, you went long and I don't know how to split it, so you got to do it for me. Or what would be great is, hey, if you could get it under 80 minutes and resend it, that'd be great. I could put it on one CD.
Rob does the Iowa accent really well. That's the best it's ever sounded right there. That sounds exactly
And you know
like
what,
him.
Steve? I want you to know I love you like a dad, but you're not fooling me when you say you don't know how to split the show. You just don't want to split the show. You know how to do it. He records his own commercial.
Yeah.
Now
he's
explain what
familiar
he's
with
talking
editing.
about. We send. How do we send our show to KCJ?
Well, we have a very intricate file delivery system. It's called our website. When we started the show, Oscar was actually using a file transfer protocol website to send Steve the show directly. And I said, Oscar, I don't want to put my nose where it doesn't belong, but don't we already share the show with our website? Can he get it that way? And you said, you know what? I guess he could.
Yeah, because our fidelity was
That's
good enough.
pretty hysterical.
Yeah.
If that's the way he gets
So
it.
he downloads the show just like you or I would. And the problem is that a compact disc holds 80 minutes of audio. That's it.
Right.
That's how much it holds. And that's one of the reasons why our show, as a rule, is 79 minutes, 48 seconds, because he wants to put it on one CD.
God
and when
bless
we
him.
go to commercials, he hits, well, actually, it's the great Billy Suter who runs our show. They go to
Right.
commercials, they'll hit pause on the CD, and then they'll do the commercials, then they'll unpause the CD. However, Mike, God forbid we go over 80 minutes, because then he's got to download the show and somehow make it into 2 portions so it'll fit on 2 CDs. And that's he puts that on me. I'm charged with that, which is why oftentimes I'll turn to my good friend Matt Bloom and I'll say, "Are we under 80 minutes?"
What's the most you've ever hacked out of a show? As far as pure time.
I think one time like about 2 minutes.
Okay, so
I mean,
we've done pretty well
not
over
bad.
the years.
And it was
Playing by the
it
rules.
was all Oscar, so it didn't matter.
Yeah, you know what? Less Fantana. That's what I say.
No, I think that as a rule, if it's long, and you know what? Since we formatted the show when we did the WTNT experiment, which was great, when we formatted the show, there was one that we went like 90 minutes because we were just really rolling, and we weren't
Right.
formatted then. That was one that I split. That was one that I left the show intact. I just put it in 2 pieces. I've never cut out anything. Trust me, folks in Iowa. Trust me, Dave Kelchin. You're not missing anything.
Way to go! And we love and really, you know what? We love our listeners in Iowa. We
They're the
don't
best.
talk about it enough. I will tell you, it is. This has gone from being something where I know the old Don and Mike show, where we kind of joked about being on at this tiny little radio station in Iowa, and then over the years, this is our longest relationship that we've ever had with anybody in a radio operation, and it's been fruitful. It's actually been terrific because the radio station KCJJ is so popular out there, and it's so got its finger on the pulse of the people in Iowa, and it's brought so many listeners, new listeners, to our show. My son, I'm sitting at the breakfast table with him. He's in his high chair today, and I look and I see that he's got another Iowa Hawkeye baby shirt on, and I said, "How many does he have?"
That's
Carla
so great.
matter-of-factly looks up at me and says, 5. He's got 5. He's got more Iowa Hawkeye merchandise, onesies,
Yeah.
T-shirts,
Oh,
everything. Well,
that's
they're
great.
all onesies.
Yeah.
They're all onesies, and today he had like the gray T-shirt, with the ring around it, the blue ring, and it's got just Iowa on it.
Exactly, yeah.
He's out with his mom right now, but I will show you what he looks like. He is such a little boy today.
That's awesome.
And he'll figure prominently in today's show when I tell you about it. He had a very, very difficult Friday. But I have another child on the other end of the spectrum that I would like to talk about, and I will talk about that child when we return, because I would not be doing my duty if I did not come back and talk about my daughter, Catherine, right after this on the Mike O'Mara Show. We'll be right back, everybody.
Hi, I'm Marcus, and this is Steve. Thanks, Steve. We play clips from the More Broadcasting Network, all the shows, including the Mike O'Mara Show, Rob and Joe, Tech 411 Show, It's Mickey, and Cake and Cookies, the Rob and Katie Show. We'll talk about the clips, share our own personal stories and how we relate to them, and you can be a part of More Broadcasting by being on the show with us. Every Monday, catch it on iTunes, Stitcher, or MikeOmaraShow.com. Omaracast, part of the More Broadcasting Network.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. This segment of the program is brought to you by Vistaprint. A business card says a lot about you. It's the best way to make a great first impression, and it gives people something to remember you by. I've got a bunch of them that I hand out constantly. Actually, I'm cheating. I give, because Carla's got one of these tiny little purses she carries around, and it's just jammed with my Vistaprint business cards, and I hand them out. I say, Carla, you got one of those? And she hands them out for me.
Oh, she's
I don't
like
know
your
why that
promo
happened.
team.
Yeah,
She's your promo team.
You know what? My problem with my Vistaprint cards is I have the old man wallet. And one of the things I got when I ordered my last bunch of business cards at Vistaprint, they have beautiful business card cases.
Oh, yeah.
And I got those now, so Carla gets to carry that around. No matter who you are, what you do, Vistaprint.com has thousands of designs that will say exactly what you want and make you look dynamite. And now, for a limited time, just for our listeners, 250 high-quality premium cards for just $10, the best deal in the world. Shipping is included. We have all design cards at Vistaprint. It's easy and totally customizable. If you can imagine it, Vistaprint can put it on a card, and you can upload your own designs as well, and then choose the stock or print. You can do it on both sides. You can choose pictures, customize your font. The design process is fun. I love doing it.
Yes.
And let me tell you, if I enjoyed it, you will be able to enjoy it as well, because when it comes to doing stuff like that, as Oscar would tell you, I'm slightly challenged.
No.
Right. Remember, 250 premium cards, only $10 with shipping, and it ain't just cards. Check out all the marketing products. It's the best. Go to Vistaprint.com, put our promo code TMOS in the cart when you check out to get this incredible offer. That's 250 cards for only $10 at Vistaprint. And, my cards were in the old man wallet. And
they get curved.
Well, my fat old man wallet is just so
It's a Kramer
ridiculously...
No, it's Costanza wallet. I apologize.
It's a Costanza wallet, and now we have beautiful, pristine cards that we hand out, and I love it. And it's just, if you listen and you... What does it say? Hold on, let me show you.
When you ask Carla for the card,
listen and you'll get it. There it is.
When you say to Carla, hey, do you have one of the cards? Does she roll her eyes? Is she sick of it yet?
No, she actually, because she Carla's a little promoter when we go out.
Yeah.
We were out and about this weekend, and we'll walk into any place. We were down in Naples, Florida, at this little touristy place, and they were selling monkey bread. Are you familiar with monkey bread? Do you know what monkey bread is?
Actually, a lot of them are changing the name because it turns out it only contains a trace amount of monkey. And they're not allowed to sell it by that name anymore.
Not enough monkey for monkey.
But no, I know what it is.
She had all this cool stuff, and she had an online business. And Carla goes into this whole little spiel for her about how we take advertisers from every corner of the world, and I was kind of proud of her.
Smart.
And then on the back of mine, you have this little thing. MikeOMaraShow.com.
There you go.
That is nice. It is clean looking. And it does. You know what's great about a business card? Not only does it make a first impression, it's a first impression that they can put in their pocket.
Oh, you can't go wrong.
Fantastic. Welcome back to the show. Let me not delay any longer and say to my 19-year-old, hey, 19.
I can't believe it.
Oh, my God. Catherine.
Wow.
Mary O'Mara, University of Mary Washington, sophomore. 19 years old today.
Wow.
Way to go, my dear.
Solid.
And she is coming down next week I will have her in this house again. And, the one thing I was worried about with moving down here to Florida was seeing enough of my daughters, and now I am, and I'm very excited. This is Catherine's second trip since we moved to
So
Florida,
cool.
and then I saw her back in Virginia, and then I'm gonna see her like the next week. I'll be seeing her in Virginia.
She grows weary of you. Are you seeing her?
I hope so.
Are you
It's
seeing
great.
her more in the month of June than you would if you lived in Manassas still?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Well,
So
if you count days, we had gotten to the point with the 16-year-old and the 19-year-old with their lives where it was really dinners and not overnight.
Yeah.
So in order for me to get them to stay under my roof, I
Big
have to
holiday.
move this far away. It's really great.
When
And
you
so
see her, make
she's
sure you-
driving down. She's actually going to her friend's house in Atlanta, and then they're driving down here to Florida, and they're going to hang with us for a few days. So
When,
I'm
when
excited
she
about
gets
that.
there, make sure you give her one of those business cards. That way she'll know where to
Hey.
listen.
Hey, Catherine, here you go.
Slide is
Listen,
under
and you'll get it.
every dorm room.
Hey, does this camera autofocus?
No.
Not at that
No,
distance,
no,
I don't
no,
think.
no.
Okay.
Go back a little
Yeah,
further.
back a little further.
Little further.
Little further,
Little further.
little
Getting
further.
closer. Getting no, it doesn't. That was good.
God, I mean, I am the father of 3 and 11 months and 19 years. That's the far end of the spectrum down there, boys.
Now-
Still kind of shocks me when I verbalize it to all of you.
At risk of getting too sentimental, do you remember the day she was born and the first time you held her?
Yeah, you probably
that's
remember
sweet.
it too.
Oh, my God. I remember the first
we
time you held
broadcast
her.
the whole goddamn thing.
Yeah, I do. I do remember.
It was a difficult pregnancy for my ex-wife, and it was something where we were up at Johns Hopkins in Baltimore.
Oh, wow.
That's where we had it.
Why
and
in
I
Baltimore?
know because of the health issues of my ex.
Okay.
And it's
she
one of
had-
the best hospitals in
No,
the
I
world.
get, but I
she
again,
had lupus, and so
Okay.
it was very important to get regular doctors, and the best doctors for that were up in Baltimore, of
Makes
course, at
sense.
Johns Hopkins, and so many doctors' visits during the pregnancy, and then it was just a long labor, Rob. If I remember, something like 30 hours of labor for Catherine, and then. The pressure of the show at the same time.
Sure.
It's just the life you led then and the life you lead
So
now.
you took-
I would have made a lovely announcement, but I would not have had the Kim Kardashian cameras or microphones as much a part of what was going on. But
Yeah.
it was my world back
I
then.
do remember. Yeah, you know what? That we were in a different place then, and it was such a weird pressure environment when you were at a hospital birthing a child, and your second priority was calling into the show. I mean, the
Yes.
first priority was, of course, the child, but the
Yeah.
second was. Did I ever
Yeah, it's
tell you about when?
ridiculous.
Now, Julia was born when we were on Christmas break, so that was fine.
You planned it that way.
Well, of course. I only made love to Carrie in the month of March.
I know you mentioned it. I know you mentioned it multiple times because it was such a windfall for you. You were so happy
It worked
that
out.
you were able to enjoy because we were all in such a little fishbowl pressure
Cooker is the word. Yeah.
Everything has to be the show, and I remember you were delighted because you could get away
and I had a couple days off even before the birth,
Right.
which probably in retrospect I wouldn't have chosen because there's nothing worse than just sitting in a house staring at your wife when she's like 24 hours out. It's like, anything?
Right.
Anything?
Yeah.
But when Robert was born, there was and he was a scheduled C-section, so there was a little bit of planning and ahead.
That's good when you can plan a C-section. That's
But
good. A
there-
C-section, Oscar, is when they take the baby out with a knife.
Yes,
Oh,
exactly.
yeah, I'm well aware.
And everything is fine now, except that when Robert leaves the house, always through a window.
Oh.
So, but there was an emergency. There was I forget exactly why, but there was a best of that day that I didn't know about. So I called in at 3 o'clock to report the good news, and Joe Ardinger answers the phone, and he says, "Hold on," and he throws me on hold and leaves me there for 20 minutes.
Oh,
Shocker.
no.
And I had no idea what was going on. He turns out he says,
Right.
"Oh yeah, there's no show today. Hey, congratulations on your son."
Yeah.
And that was it. That was it.
Oh, God.
It's a weird thing. That,
Are we friends?
you know,
Why would you do that to
And
me?
by the way, I've let it go. No grudge.
Yeah, clearly.
we had a little, at the last minute, we had a little scare where I went down, I think probably to make a call,
Right.
outside. And then I came back in and I saw that they'd all gone in, and I think they had an issue with the baby's heartbeat and
Oh,
with Catherine's
God.
heartbeat. So everybody dashed in, and everything was fine by the time I got there, but it was just the ups and downs. And when she, the only moment I will tell you, Rob, that I remember was back in the day. I remember I had one of those larger video cameras, because this is almost 20 years ago.
Right.
And I'm watching the doctor's scrub, and I've got the camera. It wasn't super ridiculously large, but it was the equivalent of one of the. It was a pretty good camera. It was one of those Canon cameras.
I remember, if you were going to do a shoot maybe 10 years ago, it was kind of gray and red.
Yeah. It was one of those little cameras, a little bigger than the standard handy cam that people have.
But professional grade.
And even though it was professional grade, I was shooting the doctors as they were scrubbing, and they had me sit outside of the delivery room in a chair right outside of where they were scrubbing.
Was it a chair with straps?
It was me waiting to go in.
Yes, I
and
remember.
they weren't allowing me to go in yet. And I'm shooting these doctors that are scrubbing, and if you look at the video, you can see almost imperceptible, but not quite. You can see the camera shaking.
Yeah.
And the camera's just shaking a little bit because I was freaked out. And then she came into this world. And the other thing that I remember for both of my daughters, which I think for all new parents out there, especially new fathers, if the mom's not going to be seeing this going on, usually they don't.
Right.
When the baby is born, they handle the baby rather roughly.
Oh,
And
to them
if you're
it
not
means
prepared for it,
nothing.
It'll piss you. Well, I think it's just part of the deal.
Well, they
you
pull the
want to
thing out.
stimulate the child by rubbing it, rubbing all the goo off.
But it comes out and it's covered with grape jelly and cream cheese, and they
Oh,
wipe
my
it too
God.
hard. They throw it
they
on
wipe
the scale.
it so hard.
And they say,
when Elizabeth,
Apgar 4-5, and
Oh,
they're
my
yelling
God.
all that stuff. I remember being horrified.
I was horrified too. And with Elizabeth at Fairfax, at Fairfax Hospital in
Baby
Virginia,
factory.
This lady, absolute baby factory, and she treated. I mean, really, you could have been at a packing house.
Yeah.
And the way this baby was handled, Elizabeth came out, and I'm like, hey, I didn't say. You don't say anything.
Well, no, you're
because you're so
horrified.
freaked out at the same time. The nice thing about Michael William, when we were in Prince William County, and they did the birthing center at Prince William Hospital, was fantastic.
Well, things have
And
changed. Things have
it was
changed in 20 years.
It was the first time where they handled the babies rather gently when they came out. You know, I mean, it's dramatic enough. Elizabeth was just like, they threw the kid like a football.
Well, I do remember, the one thing I do remember from that day is you calling in, and the sound of joy in your voice is something that I doubt you could even recreate, and I certainly couldn't. But it was a combination of almost like a teary happiness and yelling, and it was such a grand moment. And,
it was fun. It was
happy
fun.
birthday, because
Yep.
it seems like yesterday. I can't believe 19 years have passed, and
Oh,
congratulations on raising so many fine kids, but her
It's
especially
so
on this
cool
day.
to have, not only daughters that I love, because everybody loves their kids, but, so far they are healthy. They are happy, and they are living a good life, and that's
good
all
stuff.
you wish for your kids. And I hope that continues. And the drive down here, safe travels, Catherine.
Yeah,
with
that's
got
to be weird. That's a very grown up thing to do, to drive nearly cross country. Does it flip you out a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit. It does. She's made long drives before,
Sure.
so she
You
knows
should
the
add
drill.
her
She's-
to your Find My Friends on your iPhone, so
Yeah.
you can keep track of her.
That's a good idea. I think that might happen before the trip. But she, she's a veteran of this. She takes long car rides, and I think she should be fine with her new vehicle with 128,000 miles on it.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
I'm
her
sure-
brand new car. Her brand new car with 128,000.
Needs some brakes, does it?
I hope to God not. I hope it's okay.
She and I are tied. That's good.
Yeah.
That's not
Daddy helped with the down payment of that car.
Sure.
And,
128,000 miles, though?
I was not a part of the process.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I was
Can
not
you,
a part
can
of
you
the
mention the
process.
manufacturer, or do you prefer not to?
I don't care. Saturn.
No.
And it's still
Yeah,
on
I know the
road?
cars aren't. I know the cars aren't made anymore.
Well, they're not. They're not from Saturn, are they? Are they?
No.
Where are they made?
Remember, not part of the process.
I understand. I understand.
Financially part of the process.
Sure, and you're always welcome to be part in that way.
Yes.
You're always invited to be a part of their lives, Mike.
Right, but not part of the decision process.
Okay,
So,
well, that's good.
To be fair to Mike, I just sold a BMW with 180,000 miles on it.
Just getting
and
broken.
it ran like a champ, right?
Yeah, it did. I rebuilt it multiple times, but yes, it ran like a champ.
Let me ask you this: as somebody with a car over 100,000 miles,
yes,
what are the things you look for? Because I'd like your input on that.
Would you say tires? Keep an eye on the tires.
Yeah, but the tires aren't the tires. They're the least expensive of all.
Well, if you're gonna keep tires on a car for over 100,000, you're probably gonna be on.
Yeah.
You're probably gonna be on rims.
Yeah, you're gonna be here and you're seeing sparks.
Yeah, you don't. The
brakes.
tires are what you're really going to look for is the transmission. That's going to cost you the most money if you're dealing with it, right? So if the transmission has been changed or it is slipping in one way or another, even if it's an automatic,
right?
If it's in park, or if there's a lot of brake work to be done. So if you have it in park, if the car can still move,
right?
Those small things you have to look at, and then overall, just the maintenance of the engine, like that. That's why. I keep meticulous records as far as maintenance is concerned, right? Like big like a cartoon file of every time I take the car in or something gets changed.
Miles and miles of file cabinetry.
See, it's amazing you're mentioning all these things when here I am sitting over here on this side, and I thought it was just trying to recapture that new car smell.
No, but you could have a car that's so dumpy, but if someone took care of the car,
oil changes and everything, they mean the world.
You could change the upholstery any time.
Yeah,
you know.
I have Cole Hand loafers that actually smell like brand new, and I've had them for about 7 or 8 years. Pretty proud of that.
You should have given those to your daughter.
She'll be fine.
Hey, and you know what? Real quick, speaking of daughters, 10 seconds.
Yes.
A lot of people send me. I got 5 people that said even without swelling or bruising, Julia could have still broken her ankle. So I want to thank all of them, and I want them to know that on Saturday night, Julia was playing on the Chubbuck's trampoline. Her ankle is fine. Okay, so I made the right call.
Parent of the year.
Yeah.
That's interesting because yesterday afternoon, Carla and I were playing on the Chubbuck's trampoline.
Hey!
We're gonna
Look out! Hey now!
We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show.
Don't fall off.
This Father's Day. Drink the ManGrate, will you please?
Yes.
What is the ManGrate, Rob?
Oh, it's a great grill enhancement system, Mike. Tell me more.
100% made in America, cast iron grilling grates. They're revolutionizing the way people grill. Men's Health magazine called them one of the best grilling accessories that money can buy. And you know what?
What?
ManGrates are the perfect gift this Father's Day, too.
They are.
They're great for dads, grads, or even yourself. You know, you can make anything on these grills. You can grill chicken. You can grill steak. You know, you can put, you can put a battered product on there, conceivably. And you can maybe try some of those fabulous fruit fritters.
Now, they don't say this on the ManGrate box, but I'm going to let you in on a Rob Spiewak ManGrate hack. If you don't have a grill, but you can still put the ManGrates in your oven and broil the best steaks you've ever had.
Keep an eye on it.
I've done it.
I forgot
Keep an
that.
eye on it, but they are fantastic.
Why do you say keep an eye on it?
Because there are dullards out there that will just walk away and pretend like it's a grill, and then they'll come back to a grease fire.
Exactly. So mind
never
yourself,
happened.
but it's just a life hack.
We're selling ManGrates here. Don't
No,
worry
I've
about
done that. No, I've done that.
Sure.
The dullard, right here.
Really? You left it in there?
Yeah, well, because I wanted to see. This is way before even Rob mentioned it, and I was like, oh,
Well,
this
you
is gonna
might
be
want to
great.
have a tray underneath to catch the dripping.
Yeah, the guy who doesn't cook didn't have.
Well, I mean, you never ignore anything that's under the broiler.
Exactly.
Does this man look like he broils?
You don't.
Thank you.
You don't
but
look
really,
like a
seriously,
broiler.
You don't need to put them on your grill. You can also put them in your oven.
can.
I know
You
that
really
it
can.
gets the great grill marks. Click on the ManGrate banner at MikeOMaraShow.com for their $19.99 Dad's Day special, and each order comes with a fabulous grill brush.
Mike, look at these hands. Aren't they beautiful? Because
Oh,
I
I've always
protect
said
them.
so.
And you know why?
Yes.
Like when I'm on the computer, what I do is I invert the grill brush. For just today, I was at Amazon.com and I ordered the book, Mike O'Mara, the open mic book.
Yes.
And I hit all the buttons with my grill brush, and it protected my fingers.
Your
Wonderful.
cuticles look great.
Thank you.
Again, that's the ManGrate Grill Enhancement System. Order today at MikeOMaraShow.com, and you'll have the juiciest, most delicious Father's Day ever. We love the ManGrate. You will, too.
Yum.
Oh, my God. Where to begin? I guess I want to talk just for a second about the whole Tracy Morgan thing. Whenever I do an impression of someone, I always feel bummed out if anything happens to him because, you know, in a way, their personalities have allowed me to do an impression, and that's helped my cause as well. So, a lot of people, because I do an impression of Tracy Morgan, hit me to the fact that this happened over the weekend. And as someone who took a 22-foot box truck and then a motorcycle trailer all the way from Fort Myers, Florida, up to Washington, D.C., I will tell you that these guys at night, there's a different vibe out there. There's a totally different vibe at night, and I don't know what it is. It's almost as though you get more of a volume of 18-wheel truckers when they're on the road at night, because they do their traveling then, because there's less of the consumer, regular car traffic out there on the road. And I saw this story about the Walmart 18-wheeler that slammed into the back of Tracy Morgan's limo bus, and that comedian friend of his was killed, and Tracy Morgan's still in very, very rough shape.
Right.
We'll have his condition in the news, and it just reminds me that I've had lots of bad experiences on the highways with truckers, and I think that I don't know how you affect change. It's just like anything else in this country. When people get hurt or killed, you wonder, what can we do? Can we do anything? And it seems like it's tough, but I will tell you, I've clocked these guys at night, and I clip along when I'm going down in a 70-mile-an-hour zone. I'm going 75 to 80.
Yeah.
I'm flying as far as I'm concerned, and I get past like I'm standing still. And you realize the sheer weight, especially in weather. The way these guys drive, and it's not all of them, certainly not. It's there are exceptions to every rule.
Brush.
You can't paint with a broad brush, but you can say there should be governors on these engines. I mean, really, you're talking about how fast does a truck have to go? I don't think a truck should be going over 75 miles an hour. I don't think it should be it should be capable of going over 75 miles an hour when you've got that kind of weight. It's crazy. It's nuts. And this was a case.
It's a matter of physics. It's physics. When you have a vehicle that size moving at that speed, it's a whole different animal than a Saturn going at that speed, or a smaller car. Yeah.
And the most damaging thing here is those trucks. Rarely are the drivers of those vehicles ever seriously hurt.
Right.
It's the cars that they turn into coleslaw when they're out there on the highway, and it's very, very frustrating. So, when I heard the details about this, I said, "Oh, you remember that time you were on 95?" You talk about the Route 95 on the East Coast here in the United States, a 2-lane road for much of it, and when I really got a sense of it is when I was driving another truck.
Yes.
And all I was driving was a 22-foot box truck, which is, it's bigger than a car, of course, but it's not that massive like an 18-wheeler. And these guys passed me like I was standing still, in a very dangerous way. And, you see them more and more often now. You see, the lack of attention. And one of the things that was reported this weekend was driver fatigue with the quotas these guys have to meet every time. It's just a drag, and I feel bad for Tracy Morgan. I just wonder if we need to do something about
prayers
the
are
truckers.
Clearly one of the best things you can do.
Positive energy,
for something tragic like this. Also, I think, Mike, you've got a good point where these, and I think the technology is going to get there in the long run, where these high-line cars have built-in braking systems, and so instead of braking. For a car, right, when a little kid
move it into
kicks a soccer ball in front of the vehicle,
right.
If they could figure out how to do that for these larger vehicles,
what a great idea! And put it in the vehicles that are have the most potential for death and destruction. These 18-wheelers, put it in there. You're not going to have in the capitalist marketplace. You're not going to have these guys, say, "Oh, we'll ease up on their hours." That's never going to happen. But if you use the technology required to put in there, that'd be because it's not that expensive to put that kind of technology.
I wouldn't mind.
Compared to the death of somebody.
I wouldn't mind seeing some sort of regulations the way they do with pilots and even flight attendants. They're very strict about the amount of hours they are allowed to work.
That's a good point.
In a straight in a set amount of time.
Well, it's easier to manage.
It is, but you know what? A step would be a step in the right direction.
Right.
If it is, and it's to my understanding, it is unregulated. If someone wanted to drive for 24 hours straight,
it's regulated.
It is regulated.
It is regulated.
Okay.
Yeah, it is regulated. Different trucking companies. It is regulated nationally as well as far as how many hours a trucker. The only reason I know.
But they don't adhere to those regulations
but
at all.
Again, it's self-policed.
Okay, well then it's useless.
Yes, it is. That's what
it's
I'm
the
saying.
honor
It's
system.
one of those
so
things.
it's not really done with that.
You could lie on your time
said,
card of the last time you were on, or how many hours you drove, or whatever. You just want to get to from point A to B as fast as you can.
Well, I'd like to see some.
I think I first became.
Yes.
I first became aware of truckers in weather situations because.
Right.
I mean, am I alone here when you're driving out there and all of a sudden you get the rainstorm coming through
it's
and
scary.
everybody's like, the downpour is so significant. People have like their flashers on, and then all of a sudden you see an 18-wheeler going by at speed. I just think that we don't pay attention to this stuff.
Right.
We don't pay attention to anything that's really important. We really don't. We pay attention to the culture of celebrity, but as far as really stuff like this, I hope that as much as it's a tragedy with Tracy Morgan, who knows, to put a spotlight on these guys.
Have you ever thought of? And I don't know. I've read 4 or 5 stories about what's happened. I've forgotten the details as far as the seatbelts are concerned of what or who was wearing what.
Mm-hmm.
I bet they weren't. If they were in a limo bus, I bet they weren't wearing.
I've never worn a seatbelt in a limo bus in my life.
Yeah,
never.
I've never worn a seatbelt in a limo in
Period.
my life.
Right?
I've never done that. Yeah. And you hear about people getting pretty messed up, and they get messed up.
You don't think about that though.
You don't.
It's like you sit there and you have your night out for your prom or your bachelor party, or you're going out there, and is that do you want to have a bunch of the guys sitting there with the seatbelts up?
But help me with my shoulder belt. You feel in a limousine, and the rare times that you're in one, you almost feel bulletproof.
Yeah,
and
you
don't think that there's going to be any kind of danger, and that's God. It's just horrible. Just
so
bad.
prayers go out to Tracy Morgan. I do hope that I really do hope that they can bring him back to where he was. When I hear head injuries, I don't like that.
Multiple bone, ribs.
Yeah,
scary.
So good luck. Speaking of vehicles, they caught the car thief in my neighborhood, Rob.
Hey, that's good, Mike.
Yes, they caught the car thief.
Could you quickly give a synopsis because I wasn't here?
Yes, let's
went down?
Mike, because Oscar doesn't know the story. Let's do a recap.
We were sitting here a few weeks
in
ago.
Iowa just driving in their car. Being like, car.
A few weeks ago, we're walking the dog. One of the ladies in the neighborhood said, "Did you hear about this?" Somebody came in and took a car out of the driveway, actually went into the house because the garage door opener was in the car.
Right.
The door inside the garage was open, and they walked in the house, and they stole a purse as well. So this happened. They tell us this in the afternoon. We're driving out, and suddenly I said, Carly, remember that little piece of cardboard that was on your windshield wiper that looked like a ham-handed attempt to promote something? It was a phone number for, like, pet care or some sort of but the phone number was, like, pulled off a cardboard box. It just looked like it was fake. It looked like it wasn't real. And suddenly I said, hold on a second. Maybe that's the person that took this car. Maybe they were checking out, and Carla suddenly said, well, wait a minute, were you in the car overnight? I said, no, I wasn't in the car overnight. They've been in our car. We determined that we had our car unlocked in here. And because, we have like so many places in South Florida, you have the big old gate. It didn't mean anything. And they went in and went through the glove compartment. We didn't have anything of value in the car, thank God. And they'd been in there too. So we called the cops. They came out. They did a little report. They talked to us about some theories they had. Yeah, they dusted the car for prints.
They did dust for prints. Pretty cool.
We're still on the list, but we haven't been contacted by the authorities about this. And then my next door neighbor, who used to be a principal at the high school, he says with like this grin on his face, "Yep, used to be one of my students."
Oh, how nice! Wow.
So it's all alleged, but I think they got the guy. And the cops came out. We talked to them. This although a crime is a crime, they said this was perhaps a local troubled person with some drug issues that did this.
Not the mafia?
It was not the mafia. It was not
because
sophisticated.
I was thinking it was the mafia.
It was. It makes you totally rethink your life when something like this happens. And obviously, down here in particular, they talk about there's a place down in South Florida, Marco Island, where
Polo.
I think they had 72 car break-ins, and they really weren't break-ins. These 72 cars, because people in these communities down here leave their cars unlocked, and they go through the car, and if you got a phone in there or whatever, that's how they
Some people
get
do
you
that in
down
D.C.
here.
or bad parts of Maryland.
Yeah. I don't know this person.
I'm a big one for
so you've
that.
learned your lesson.
You ever lock your door, leave your car unlocked in the streets of D.C., Oscar?
No. I actually make sure the floodlights are on.
Not even when he's driving it.
Yeah.
Right.
I will be so just crazy about it that I will go back and make sure that it's completely locked.
I do the boop boop 3 times. I'm crazy about it.
Well, here's to Sergeant Joe Friday, and they got everybody that they needed to get. And Rob, do you have the Joe Friday lecture about the criminals that you play, or is that in your system?
Let me check. I might have
because
some Dragnet
I was wondering, if it is a young man, and I don't know the man's age, and we've been trying because they said that it made the TV. They said they may have a TV report of this, and I was trying to find out the guy's name all weekend, and I'm not going to broadcast it, but they got the guy. Good. And I got so that's one problem solved down here in South Florida.
Nice.
And the other problem is, I mentioned last week that I have an ant issue.
Oh,
and
termites.
No, they're not
termites.
Termites. No, they are not termites, Oscar. I do not have termites at my house. Thank you. But what they are you ready for this?
Yeah. Chess.
They are called ghost ants.
Oh.
Ooh, scary.
I've never heard of ghost ants before.
Ghost ants are these little ants. Now, I've had 2 crawling around here today.
Oh, they are not attractive.
I called. I want to thank a listener. I should have written the name down, but a listener on Facebook hit me to the fact that, do you know what these ants are attracted to?
Oh.
Big asses?
Jello?
No.
Boobs?
Electronic equipment.
Why?
Static electricity attracts these ants. They are known to be attracted towards equipment. So, stereos or audio equipment.
I've never heard
like
of
for
such
doing
a bug.
podcast.
It's something out of a Marvel movie.
Well,
No,
and how did they do? How did they exist in the 1800s? They were just waiting around for something to be invented.
It's just one of the things that attracts them is, I don't know. You can look it up, and they're called ghost ants, and apparently they are attracted to electric
Now, I
equipment.
remember this in Back to the Future 1.
Yes.
Doc Brown had a big problem with ghost ants. Now I remember, because his workshop was full of them.
He's lying. This is not true.
Now you're indicating. Look, all I'm doing.
He's being a dick ant.
He's being a dick ant. I'll tell you 2 things here. The listener hit me to the fact that when I called the exterminator, I told the exterminator that Irwin called me. And I said, I've got these ghost ants, and I think they're attracted. He said, yes, that's a common problem. They come in that area. And they were confined pretty much to the studio area. And, of course, Carla looked at me. And I know Oscar's probably, in a roundabout way going in the same. What have you been eating? What have you been eating in the studio? And I have not. The only thing I had here that might have attracted them would be an empty orange juice glass that sat here for about a day too long. But other than that, no. But there weren't any ants on it. You know what they were on? Yes.
I'm sorry. I've seen when you partake in snacks or breakfast.
Yeah, it's true. They weren't around the
But you're
breakfast
not
table.
the first to say, you know what? I'm going to clean that up.
Has anybody looked up ghost ants?
When you left the studio the 5 days you were here, for the week you were here, every time there was a wrapper here, there was a bag here, there was enough to say that if we had a ghost ant problem in the studio,
let me just
explain
something. Let me explain something about when I was in the studio. It was the long drive in, the 2.5 hour drive in, and then the hour and a half show, and basically I was a little calorically challenged a couple of days in a row.
That's
understandable. Why I sent old Robbie Bobby Boo down to get the local Starbucks pastries, which are exorbitant.
They are,
in my humble opinion.
Really, they're overpriced and under
I
quality.
I own it.
Well,
Oscar.
I'm not talking about the wrappers. I'm saying, but there's no reason that you couldn't just throw them in the trash. That's the problem.
Yeah, I get all wrapped up when I'm in a foreign place.
But you're not in Belize. You're just at our studio. It's
just really your studio.
Now, why are they called ghost ants? Do they look scary? Are they white?
I think because they're so. I think they're actually so small.
Oh, you mean Tapenoma melanophyllum?
They look
Did you find out?
That's the Latin name.
Well, take it from him. Take it from him and read it. Somebody give me the information. You're all like,
do their tails look almost like gel-like?
Yeah, they do. It's what it is. It's a species of ant that goes by the common name ghost ant. They are recognized by their dark head and paler translucent legs and gaster. That means the abdomen, Mike. This coloring makes this tiny ant 1/16 of an inch seem even smaller. Maybe that's why it's called a ghost ant. The ghost ant diet consists mostly of sweets, like myself, but will also feed on grease and occasionally living or dead insects. They exhibit a high need for moisture, and although colonies are usually established outside, they can set up camp in domestic houses during dry conditions. I'm scanning now to see if there's anything about the...
Yeah, I don't see that either, Mike. Sweets, I see. Twice.
Sweets, yeah, I do that. Oh, Mike, they're difficult to distinguish from the pharaoh ant, which is the same size.
Yeah.
A lot of small insects...
the pharaoh ant's got... Well, the pharaoh ant has that little hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pharaoh ant has that.
He's got six ants carrying him.
The pharaoh ant also does impressions on Saturday Night Live.
Yo, that was a Jay Farrow. That was a stretch. He hasn't established himself yet.
All right.
All right. We'll take a break. Come back with news you may not need on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Do you love your iPhone? Do you love your iPad? Do you love your Android?
Do you love your Nexus 7?
Did you play Atari?
Did you program the TRS-80?
Do you love technology?
We all do. And more importantly, do you love entertainment?
Yes. And if you do all those and above, or whatever I'm trying to say, you should listen to Tech 411.
That's right, Tech 411 show with Oscar Santana and
Todd Moore.
Bring it.
Let's try it. That was fair.
More broadcasting. For more information, visit us at morebroadcasting.com.
Introduce myself, my name is Humpty.
Yeah. Wee.
Pharaoh ant.
Todd Moore. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. The segment of the program brought to you by Amazon. Our Amazon page. It's hot, right?
Whoa.
It sure feels like summertime. And that's the best time to think Amazon. Yes, sir, boy. Summertime, sun time, fun time. Water gun time. Amazon has it all.
They do.
Whether you need a beach towel, a Batman cowl, or some meds for your irritable bowel, Amazon has it. How about a gas grill? Pickles of dill. A plastic duck bill. A CD by Vince Gill. A windowsill. Amazon has you covered. You'll even find a garden tool, a swimming pool, a Halloween ghoul. Keep you cool. You'll find it at Amazon. All right. I am requesting.
What?
This is the format. I think we can go.
You like this one?
I think this format has legs. I think it can go through the summer.
Okay.
Easily.
You got it.
You make the determination how often you update them, but I say the next one I get, I sure would love this.
Okay.
Let me do that again.
Okay.
You'll even find a garden tool, a swimming pool, a Halloween ghoul. Keep you cool. You'll find it at Amazon. Amazon has everything for your home and your office, whether it's paper clips, coffee, clothes, bagpipes, or cleaning supplies. If you need it, Amazon has it. Always open at MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon. The best way to save money and support the show. And also on Amazon, starting today, you can find a delightful book by a fabulous author named Mike Kelly. It's called Open Mike. Buy yours today and leave us a nice review.
It's a good summertime read, Mike.
Oh, it's a half an hour summertime read. Remember to bookmark Amazon at MikeO'MaraShow.com and click that link always. Thank you very much for buying our book, and thanks for supporting Amazon.
From around the globe, across the nation, looking through your neighbor's window, the Mike O'Mara Show now presents News You May Not Need, a comprehensive look at the stories you may or may not be talking about during your daily activity. And now, news you may not need.
Tracy Morgan underwent surgery Sunday as he recovers from injuries sustained during a fatal traffic accident. Morgan, 45, was hospitalized early Saturday after his limo bus, returning from a show in Delaware, was involved in a 6-vehicle crash on the New Jersey Turnpike. While Tracy remains in critical condition, he has been more responsive today, which is an incredibly encouraging sign. He sustained a number of injuries, including a broken leg, a broken femur, a broken nose, and several broken ribs. He had surgery earlier today on his leg. They expect him to remain in the hospital for several weeks. His family is tremendously overwhelmed and appreciative of the outpouring of love and support from his fans. So good luck to you, Tracy. We'll be thinking about you. Sandra Bullock had a scary weekend. According to NBC investigations, an unidentified male in his early 30s allegedly gained entry into the Oscar winner's L.A. home early Sunday morning while she was inside. Luckily, Bullock wasn't harmed during the incident, and police arrested the man after arriving at the residence around 6:30 a.m. The incident is being classified as, I've never heard this term before, a hot prowl burglary, or a burglary that takes place while someone is at the home.
Hot prowl, hot, H-O-T?
A hot prowl burglary. But law enforcement sources are also looking into whether this guy was a stalker. News of the break-in comes just hours after she was presented with the Decades of Hotness Award at the Guys' Choice Awards. Anybody watch the Guys' Choice Awards over
just
the weekend?
missed them.
No,
Just
yeah.
missed them.
I think I have them in my DVR. Hey, with
The
his
Man in Red
arrest,
would have been... What?
I was going to say, with his arrest, will he be into intern tomorrow?
Mac.
Mac.
Oh, Mac.
We told you. Stop going out to California.
That's not right.
A Maryland dad likely won't see any charges after he struck a local teacher with a baseball bat. Now, this story is interesting, and I included it in here because of a father, acting out on a bad teacher. But unfortunately, the most important thing was not included. Police say the dad saw a series of texts on Thursday between the 42-year-old teacher and his daughter, who was a 15-year-old student. One part of the story, I would love to know what was the subject of the text. They don't tell you here. The girl's mother deemed them inappropriate for a teacher and a student to be sharing, and investigators didn't agree and never charged the teacher with a crime. But the situation took a downturn later that day when the unidentified teacher showed up at the girl's house. He wanted to speak to the girl's father, but was told to leave. When he refused, the dad reportedly whacked him with a baseball bat. Must have been a pretty bad text, I would
think so, yeah.
The teacher sustained minor injuries. Police arrived at the home about 9:45 p.m., but the teacher did not press charges. So, once again, I would love, all the judges in the world would love to know what was in those texts to see, what they. I think obviously if there's anything that's even a gray area, it's not cool for the teacher.
I am not sure a teacher and student should ever be texting.
Not like that,
I think that maybe if you want to email the student through the the parent, then that's okay. But I think one-on-one communication, that's always a bad idea.
Or see them in school.
Yeah, or
talk
at lunch.
to them.
Yeah.
Yes,
Study
that
hall.
old form of communication called talking. Maybe this is why people in Florida always seem to do crazy crap more than anywhere else. A real estate website called Mavoto.
Mavoto?
Just did a study on the most stressed out states in the country, and Florida, my new home state, is numero uno.
The most stressed out?
Aren't you surprised at that? I am.
This
I'm
shocks
surprised
me.
at that.
It's probably a lot of amusement park workers.
Yeah, it's weird. Here's the thing that's, I moved down here, and I always talk about how great the traffic is. The rankings for the most stressed out state are based on 6 factors.
Okay.
Percentage of people with a commute over 20 minutes, the unemployment rate, that's a biggie down here in Florida. Hours worked, probably similar. Population density in certain parts of Florida, the East Coast and Tampa and that area. Let me see. Percentage of income spent on housing and percentage of people without health insurance. The top 10 most stressed states are Florida, Georgia, New Jersey, California, Nevada, Illinois, New York, Maryland, North Carolina, and Arizona.
How does Virginia miss out on that? I guess because
Virginia misses out on
large
all
areas.
Of these because of how big it is.
Yeah.
And how much of Virginia is, if Northern Virginia was a state,
That's right. If Northern Virginia was a state, Mike, I'd kill myself.
It'd be a chart topper. On the other end, North Dakota was the least stressed state. The rest of the 10 least stressed are you ready, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah.
Please.
Iowa.
Yeah.
South Dakota, Minnesota, Nebraska, Vermont, Wyoming, Montana, Maine, yay!
Yeah! Woo!
And Utah. So there you go. Melanie Griffith filed for divorce from Antonio Banderas, and also Jennifer Lopez and Casper Smart have broken up after about 2.5 years together. There's no word if Casper's alleged affairs with transsexuals contributed to the breakup. Several sources say they just grew apart and actually separated 2 months ago. I don't think Jennifer Lopez is going to have any trouble whatsoever.
No. And also, Melanie Griffith's lips have also grown apart, Mike.
They're and all their collagen-y goodness.
Yeah. Blah, 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 blah,
Right.
blah.
Casey Kasem's daughter, Carrie, says her father, quote, won't be with us much longer. And she blames that, in part, on Casey's current wife, Jean. Even so, she says Jean and their daughter, Liberty, are more than welcome to be in the hospital with the rest of the family when Casey passes away. It's kind of weird. She says, quote, I only hope that we can put our differences aside so when my dad opens his eyes and takes his last breath, we are all there with him.
You know, I think that's actually
sad. God
that's
damn.
a pretty big gesture right there, considering what she's been through just in the last week with that family. I say kudos to her. That's sort of a nice thing to do.
Yeah, he's a great broadcaster. Very, very sad. And now a little something. Randall Streeter of Greenville, North Carolina, might have the world's deepest belly button. He was pulled over by
that is gross.
Thank you. He was pulled over by a drug task force on May 29th, and when they searched him, they found 40 bags of heroin, crack cocaine, and Percocet pills.
What?
They were hidden in his belly button. Now, they weren't huge bags of heroin, but still, you know, a lot of bags in your belly button. As you might imagine, Randall is a man of rather generous proportions. He is 5'5" and 315 pounds.
This Percocet tastes funny.
And that probably contributed to his haul. We assume there was some overflow in his belly button that spilled out onto his primary belly roll. He is facing several heroin trafficking charges and is locked up with a $1 million bond. When the officers were asked how they caught Randall, they said something just didn't smell right.
Oh, no!
Thank you. Happy Monday, everybody.
Thank you.
We'll take a break and come back with more. We've got Rob's Audio Vault on the Mike O'Mara Show every ball day.
Sunshine came softly through my window today.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. Hey, please join us on Thursday, June 26th, for our exclusive book signing party. The entire TMOS crew will be at Jimmy's Old Town Tavern, and that's the night before we all head up to Maine.
Exactly. It's a great chance to catch up with us.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing you. I'll be back in Virginia with the guys. Jimmy's Old Town Tavern is located at 697 Spring Street in beautiful downtown Herndon, Virginia. Our signing is from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m., but the fun begins when you arrive. Of course it does. Don't miss your chance to get your book signed and hang with your favorite podcast pals / authors. And before you ask us, yes, we will autograph your Kindles. We'll see you there. Book signing, Thursday, June 26th, 6:30 till 8, Jimmy's Old Town Tavern, Spring Street, Herndon, Virginia. We will see you there. Without further ado, let's open up the audio vault for Monday, June 9, 2014. Rob Spiewak.
Mike, it needs to be said, Tony loves Bryan Cranston.
Oh, yeah. Well, was he Lyndon Johnson?
Yes, the show was actually called All the Way, and it was a show about Lyndon Baines Johnson, and he played Johnson. And
All the Way with LBJ. That's what that's
that was one of his. That was his campaign motto, right?
All the Way with LBJ. I may have had a little like Burger King chef's hat that said All the Way with LBJ that my folks got when they went to a rally.
Oh, no way. That's cool. Well, he played. He had a very well-received performance as LBJ, and this is him picking up his trophy. Mike, the Antoinette Perry Awards, you know, but we all called them the Tonys. And when he picked up his shield, this was his acceptance speech.
Oh, dear Lord. My first Broadway play was in 1977. I snuck into the second act of Hair, and to this day, I still haven't seen the first act. But they tell me the second act was better because there was more nudity. So I feel blessed. To all the fellow actors in this category, I am deeply honored to be in your company.
Congratulations, Bryan Cranston. Keep distancing yourself from Godzilla, which is what he's doing. Also, the only other highlight that I found in the Tony Awards, Mike, Hugh Jackman was the host, brought out T.I. and LL Cool J to rap music from The Music Man. Now, you know the opening sequence in The Music Man that's on a train, and they're talking about Professor Harold Hill? He theorized that in 1958, this is one of the first rap records ever written, but it was written by Meredith Willson for The Music Man.
Hands in the air. Everybody on your feet. Tony Award, stand up.
He's a music man.
He's a what?
He's a music man, and he sells clarinets to the kids in the town with the big trombones and the rat-a-tat drums and the big breast bass, and the piccolo, the uniform too, with a shiny gold braid on the coat and a big red stripe running.
Well, I don't know much about bands, but I do know you can make a living selling big trombones. No, sir. Handling picks perhaps and here and there a juice hop.
Nope, the fella sells bands, boys bands. I don't know how he does it. How's he do it?
That makes the point. But it
That's
is
pretty cool.
essentially a rap record, and it's the opening number from Music Man. I thought it was a neat idea, and I don't know how they managed to pack 4 minutes of entertainment into 3 hours. That was a great show. It just was
Terrific
really nonstop.
And I saw a news story about the fact that Broadway has really effectively priced out the average man. That,
of course.
Family of four, average, I believe, over $1,000. Average?
Yeah, it's like
pretty stunning.
You can't even do it, and they've got. You can occasionally pick up a face value or something cheap at the kiosk, like a single ticket. And you and I, when we were doing the New York thing, we saw a couple shows. I think that we probably missed the boat. We should have seen more when we were there,
absolutely,
because it was
very,
a little
very
cheaper
expensive.
then. But man, it was a lot then, and it's more now. Also, in the world of rap music, Mike, I like to keep you informed. Over the weekend, the Seattle Symphony had a special guest. It was Sir Mix-a-Lot, and they did a symphonic performance of one of the great compositions of our time.
What?
It's a symphony.
Like big butts and I cannot lie. You other brothers can't deny. When a girl walks in with a itty bitty waist and a round thing in your face, you get strong. Wanna pull up tough 'cause you don't.
And the thing that's a little odd is Sir Mix-a-Lot is probably 70 now. And he's there in front of an orchestra singing Baby's Got Back.
My homeboys tried to warn me with that butt you got me. Ooh, rock smooth skin. You say you wanna get in my bed?
You can barely hear the symphony, though.
I know, it was a cell phone capture.
Oh, okay.
I just have a hunch that if you got a better footage of it, I think some of the violins probably looked unhappy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't imagine.
I signed up for this.
Yeah, they spend their whole life studying, and that's what
training,
they get to do.
learning music, actually learning really how to make music.
All right, Oscar, on Friday, I stated something. Let's see if you remember what it was. What always makes Mike laugh in the audio vault?
Oh, goats.
Goats make Mike laugh. And
you have more goats?
I do. This is from a farm in Maine, Mike, called Sunflower Farm. This is the
We'll
sound.
have to stop by and visit.
This is the sound of a baby goat stampede. I would guess 70 baby goats here.
Nah.
It's just all of them running out of the barn. Baby goats, far as the eye can see.
I love it.
I saw somebody posted this on Facebook and said, "This is the way I want to die." By Baby Goat Stampede.
It's a shame goats. Oh, sorry about that. It's a shame.
That last one was persistent.
Yeah, goats get so big and ornery because they're so cute when they're little. I like a baby goat. Now,
I like a baby goat.
When did Family Feud make the turn to softcore pornography? That's what I want to know. I think
Is this Family Feud with Steve Harvey?
Yeah, this is the current Family Feud, and the question was, name something that's fully loaded. All right?
Only one strike. Tell me something that might be fully loaded.
Myself?
Now, granted, that could have
Can I
several
say
meanings.
this? Can I just say?
Yeah.
I as much as I dislike Steve Harvey's talk show, I love Steve Harvey on the Family Feud.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great format for him.
Absolutely perfect format, and he knows how to do it. He's great at that show.
So he said that himself, that I could be fully loaded.
What do you mean by that more specific?
Oh, okay. I guess my man region there. I don't know what else to say. Not sure.
Might not be up there, but damn good answer. The man region.
Yeah, of course it's up there.
And the thing is do you know how it was spelled out on the board? It said, "My willing wiener."
Oh my
Really?
God.
Yeah. Do you think Richard Dawson would have ever allowed that?
But isn't it nice to see though? Because I think really they're changing with the times a little bit, and we've become a little more sophisticated.
And wasn't allegedly Richard Dawson too hammered to notice?
Yeah, he liked to have a few. He did, and also very hard to work with, Richard Dawson.
Yeah, they said he was difficult. That makes me sad.
Yeah, that's why he left Match Game. No one wanted to deal with him. He was
because he was a dick.
He was a dick. Dick Dawson.
Our survey said I want to go to the cocktail hour.
And a good kisser. And we close, Mike. You mentioned Tracy Morgan. We all wish him the best. Here he is recently. Do you remember about a week ago they did that all-star salute to Don Rickles?
Right.
Tracy Morgan was featured. I wanted to play a little Tracy Morgan for everybody today.
When I was in the hospital, out of the blue, I got this amazing flower arrangement from Don. To this day, I carry with me this card that he sent me. Give me a minute. It says, Dear Tracy, I hope you get better, but I still don't want you coming in none of the home games. Oh, this one is from Don Sterling. Sorry, Don Sterling. By the way, talking about Don Sterling, if I owned a team like the LA Clippers who lost for 30 years, I'd hate black people too.
Feel better, Tracy Morgan. That's your Magic Audio Vault. Have a great Monday, everybody.
Thank you, boys. Don't forget, get yourself the book. It's open and up for business at Amazon.com. Open Mic. We hope you buy a copy of it and give us a great review. And thanks to all the people that bought this thing before we were even talking about it. And we were alluding to it, and we were sneaking it. But really, thank you for the support. And we're very, very proud of our book, Open Mic. And thanks for giving it a great launch. Lots of purchases today, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Wait, don't go. I need to tell you that MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon is perfect for all your online shopping needs. Shop the best way. Shop Amazon. And please go through our website, always open at MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.